Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 2, sorting out your paint. Here's a look at the paints we're going to use and the paint mixes. Right guys, so they're the paints we're using and the mixes that I'm going to go to in part 3. Now I'm going to talk you through the paints and the mixes, and some of the mixes I'm going to be doing on the fly and how I'm going to do them. Now in part 1 we projected the image up, which I've got here. So I said project it up, pencil it out, which we have, and then to do a sharper version of Bart to make him pop forward away from your background, I said to use application tape. We placed application tape on the picture, penciled on, and then remove that, and then you chop it out so you've got that. So you're looking at that. So you've got the inner one and the outer one. Now that one would go on first. We'd place that straight on the artwork sort of now when we come to paint, because we're painting the background. So you want to shield Bart off. You don't want any overspray going on him, so you can mask him out with that one. We'd paint the background, then you'd remove that one from the image, so then you'd see all the outlines of Bart, and then you place this one on. You place that one over, and then just put a bit more of this application tape round your image so you cover your background, so you keep your background clean, and then you can concentrate on Bart, which will be part 4. So paint mixes, choosing your paints for your project. Now when you look at that image on the screen, you just go round, get yourself a piece of paper and just do a little list. So looking at that image, you've got black, yellow, blue, red, like an orange, and they're the sort of colours that I picked on the fly. And then I sort of looked again, went across to the tablet. When I look at the tablet, it's a little bit bright because that image is blown up. Now the actual car on the tablet, or if you're looking at it on your tablet screen or PC screen now, I'm going to go in with, I've picked golden shading grey. It puts a very light grey tone down. It's a transparent, so with a transparent you can put a pass down, and then when you go over the top it becomes darker and darker and darker, and you can near enough get it to black when you keep overlaying it. So using that to go around the car will be absolutely ideal, because you can really soft shade it and put all the shaded areas in. If you needed to outline it, you could go in with the black because this is like cartoon sort of image, so everything's outlined. But I'm going to try and keep minimal outline on this and just sort of hold shields up and shade to it, but you're going to see this in part 3. So shading grey for the car. The actual background colour around here, I've picked Wicked, which is the Wicked Black. But when you mix this version to the Wicked Black, I'll leave a link in the description to this one. When you mix it with ISO, it gives you that sort of dark, near enough like a plum type tone, real dark plum type tone when you mix it down. Doesn't come through like jet black, and that's a bang on colour for everything else on this background around here. So I've picked that one for that, and I've got a pre-mix of that, and that's the mixing ratio you've seen in that video clip. So that's straight isopropyl with that one, and I've got some decanted and mixed in a little bottle. So that one's good to go. The golden is straight mixed with water, as you've seen in that video clip. I'm going to go either a 1-to-1 or 1 drop of golden, 2 drops of water. Depends what it's like, because I've had problems with the golden. New range of golden on the shading grey is a little bit thick. So that's how I mix that one, straight with water. The rest is FW lineup. So I've got the blue, a yellow. So I've got 2 blues. I've got a light blue and a dark blue. We can make the tone for the jeans out of that, not a problem. I've also got some white. So if I need to go in white and make my blues up that way, I've got white I can drop in. Next is like a black on this. So we could use the FW black on this piece, on the jacket, and going really light because we're mixing it very thin. We can build that up like a transparent on here to get the tones on the jacket. I've got an FW red. Now when I tone the red on these darker shades here, I'll be just dropping in minimal drops of black and just toning the red down from these darker pieces around here. So I've got a red. The yellow I've got, and I've got an orange as well, a yellow orange and like a browny type orange, because there is little bits of brown, there's the yellow and sort of bright little bits like but burnt type sort of orange around his face and around here. So I've got them three that will cover that. So we were all covered with the colours I've got here to get this down, and then we can manipulate these colours as we go along. Now you can mix in pots like that, little pots, really handy. Link in the description to some plastic pots, nice and cheap. Wooden coffee stirrers, they're brilliant for mixing. Water, isopropyl, and I can mix, if I need a little bit of a bigger quantity, I can mix in a pot, but I've got the bottles that are covered, that are pre-mixed. Now a lot of the mixing I'll do will be in the brush, straight on the fly in the brush, because I'll be using minimal paint. I won't be overfilling my cup. I'll be doing a couple of drops out of these bottles, just like a couple of drops in, and then if I need to tone it, I'll just tone it and mix it in the cup, bubble back. It's a quick way of mixing. Test to the side, and I'll just be mixing on the fly like that, but you're going to see this in part 3 when it comes to mixing. The brush, I'd recommend a 02 for this, as it's a sort of small detailed piece. 02, 03 you'll be alright on 03 got it. 05 and things like that, anything big, it's a little bit too much because you've got some real tight details, so you want that needle and nozzle to be just that little bit finer to give you that sort of closed in spray a little bit more. So we're using the Iwata HP SB Plus on a 02, and I've changed this for better flow. I think is the Takumi cup out the side, and we've dropped the H&S small cup to the top. We'll have a cap to the top of this as well because it's warm in the UK. It'll stop your paint drying up. When it comes to cleaning, it'll be 2K thinners, water, kitchen towel, cotton buds, little plastic pint pot to the side for blasting through. Also you're going to be using and getting ready for part 3 will be shields. Now my new set will be arriving and it's going to be available to you very soon. It's going to be through Etsy, so you'll be able to get the Dred Effects 3 shield set on Etsy. Now I've designed 3 shields because people have been asking about the one I'm using. This is an old one, so I've based my new set around this size, so they're handy size to use. I find if you're using the real small ones, they're really good. The real Scott McKay ones are really good, the individual small ones, but I just find with the real small ones there is too much going on with them and you're sort of really fiddly trying to find bits. When you're doing very intricate pieces and you need that little shape, they're good, but I find that size is bang on for when you're working things like this. So the set that I've created will be good for all round use, and they're sort of, a lot of the shapes will be used for portraits as well. So when you're doing A3 size stuff, because a lot of my works on A3, I've adapted these shields so they work really well A3 and up, and you can use them on smaller stuff as well. So they will be shown in part 3, my new set. We'll give them a test run. This will be the first demo run of them, see how they are, but they're in melee all cut, so you're going to get to see them. Other bits, if you're working from a tablet, happy days, you can follow along and I'll be pinching and pulling and zooming in on the tablet. But if you're working from a printout, just put your printout as close to as your reference as you can, and make sure when you've projected up, you've got as much in on your projecting side as what you're looking at, because it can be very tricky if you've missed out loads of bits when you've projected up. When you're looking across, it can throw you, like finding where you are on the image, because you're really homing in on little pieces when you're painting. You really are. When you look at images like this, looks quite simple when you look at it and you think, yeah, well, that's easy enough. And then when you come to paint it and you're staring from that to that, that to that, and you're going backwards and forwards looking, you can lose where you're going, and you can look at shapes and think, oh my God, what am I painting? So as much as you can get in on this to guide you, the better. So just double check what you've projected up. Get your shields ready like that. And you'll see, I'll show you how you put these on and everything like that in part 3. So hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's sort of got you ready for part 3. Just sort your paint mixes out the best you can. Mix them down the best you can. But I will be showing you bits in part 3 as we move into that one. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you're liking this breakdowns of these step-by-steps, click that subscribe. Press the notification so you don't miss out, so you get notified on part 3 because it's coming up really soon. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you in part 3 for the bar in the petrol station with the slammed Volkswagen VW. Cheers.